Hey everybody, this is Eternal Dark Mako and we're going to go into Equinox today. Now, I dubbed this Equinox Frames loadout Wither, and there's a good reason for that. I'm not a big secondary weapon fan, but I mean, out of all this, I would say get a Furis. They're probably the easiest thing to build, to get a hold of, and then you just put the Lifesteal mod on. Dragon Nikana is one of my faves on Equinox. Why? I feel very samurai-ish. But in all truth, with Decisive Judgment or even Tranquil Cleave, you've got a good range of attack, a big arc to do a big hit, and each enemy you're hitting gives you a chance to critical. With a 3.8, crit multiplier, you're going to do some serious damage. There's even possibility to do a critical if a critical or a crit with a status, which is just going to keep buffing you up. Now let's put Spoiled Strike on and see how much this works. Spoiled Strike, Buzzkill, those two can help you a bit. Buzzkill would even be better, but most don't have access to that, so that's why I put Jagged Edge. So you can see I have all three stances for this. I've played with them, tried my own little different tweaks, but I switched the Tranquil Cleave out for Decisive Judgment. I like how it can do a nice upper attack, because I'm always getting hit by those stupid Osprey, and I can never hit them worth a dang with my guns, so, or even the melee I normally use. So, got a good crowd control, good range attack with your melee. Now with Punch Through, this Furis with the Lifesteal just got really good. Why? Think about it. One bullet goes out, hits an enemy, that gives you some HP if it does damage. So if you got multi-shot plus Seeker, that's Punch Through. If it's hitting through multiple enemies, one bullet hits through maybe 2, maybe 3 enemies, you're getting HP per that hit, which is a really good combo. What I usually do is I have the Furis out like this, and I'll just slap around with the Dragon Nikana until I need HP and I shoot in. So it's a way to balance out between forms if you don't want to switch or you can't. The Supra is probably one of my favorite weapons in terms of primary. Cyanoid Simular that I showed in my Trinity Prime build, that's another good one. Why? It's because you can do corrosive, heat, and magnetic. You can have all three effects. I like the magnetic AoE from the Syndicate power. In this case, it's a Syndicate mod. This deals a nice magnetic AoE which tears off shields pretty much, about 1,000 or 2,000 roughly. I'm trying to remember offhand. The Soma Prime is great. Boltor Prime is great. But again, you don't have that AoE of just tearing apart shields innately. Plus it buffs the status up to be pretty nice. And Boltor is another good one because of puncture, but this thing, if I remember right, actually outdoes it in puncture. So there's a reason I like it, because it tears through armor. It can hit really hard, it tears through armor, and you can do corrosive to shred through the armor if you get a status, and if it's heat, it just burns through flesh and infested. So flesh or armor, they're gonna die pretty quickly. And if they have shields, you're just tearing it off. And by doing that AoE shield magnetic blast, it also gives you energy, or power in this case. So this is my build. I'm going to clean this up. The only really two hard ones here that may be difficult to find are Rage and Fleeting Expertise. You don't need Primed Flow. I just like Primed Flow because I have it, so why not use it? This gives me the ability to have 0.88 draw when I'm in day form using Maim, and or Mend, which is the night form. So you got a good range of this. Rage, in case I'm hit, gives me energy, and if I get energy I can give myself health. So I call these an HP build. Sarin is probably one of the easiest to do this with, or Equinox or Trinity. Sarin because of regenerative molt. So note the differences here. I'll explain this in the next section about how to use them. Okay, we're going to do a simulation here with Equinox in night form. These enemies are 60, I believe. Now see, this is her crowd control power. I mean, look at this. You can just shred through 60 ancient healers like they're bloody butter. Now look, I'll even put this buff up. This increases my ability to take hits. Whoa, I hate it when they do that when they're passed out. So that's one little bug you can have happen. I mean, look at this. You can just shred through them all the butter. Now, granted, you're getting stealth Look how much damage this thing can do. And, that was barely any of my magazine shot out. Now let's run over here. Oh, I want to get that. Sorry, I'm still not the best parkour 2.0 person. I mean, look at that. I just shredded through that one like it was nothing. This is why I love the Supra with this setup. It's beautiful. So, tearing through them. Oh no, I got dragged. This is the thing that every person hates. So I'm going to try to do I was trying to do a heavy impact. So I can demonstrate. Even though these guys are 60, you can just land right next to them. Boom, and they will still knock down. So that is somewhat crowd control if you land into a group. And again, you notice I got bumped or dragged away. Slashy. Look at that radius with the decisive judgment. Look, just shredded through all those guys. And like, now hit while they're asleep. So crowd control is a nice, good little group of them, and you can just kill them pretty quickly and effectively. Yeah, so this is what I was trying to state in how you can use an Equinox night form to be pretty fun endgame. Okay, we're going to do the day form now, and the enemies are going to be between 50, 60, if I remember correctly. I can't actually see my screen because this new load screen and upload is stupid. So, cast your third power, cast your fourth, which is your ult. Now run over here. Cast your second power. I was just doing that to cover all of them. Now, do you notice how much damage I did? Me neither. Just notice they all died. And I barely took any damage off of that. And by the way, Equinox has the ability that if you pick up energy, you get health. You pick up health, you get energy. So, now, why do I channel? Channeling with melee is number one, very fun because you get the whole lightsaber effect, but in truth you amplify your damage. And in this case with Equinox, with flow or even prime flow, you've got so much power due to efficiency because you may spend your attacks like that. Look, now that stun locks in, you can come up and just bash them to death. Even if they get out, look, hit with the right trigger attack, 1, 2, that third hit, that big final hit does 200% damage boost. You can check this out on Wikipedia if you don't believe me. And decisive judgment, reactivate your maim. Now like, oh no, maim's gone, I'm weak, pathetic. Equinox. Channel, boom. Can't stop me. Now you rend them, boom. I didn't even have to channel on that last part. That one channeled, instant death. I just love the quick attacks, and you can go really quickly from place to place using decisive judgment. Now you can do that too with blind justice or tranquil cleave. I won't lie. I just like how it does like a spin strike, goes up and then lands, hits. Now again, I'm not using the super right now. I'm just trying to demonstrate why I like this thing, the Dragon Nikana, so much. Because look, do that. Now if you have the supra is constantly giving you energy. And what do I mean by that? If I kill an enemy, say with the supra, it will stack up on the little corner there and state, you know, how much affinity has been gained. When it reaches the top, it blasts out, does a magnetic AoE, and gives me a percentage of my energy back. And with that energy, I can get health. Now this is what you would do with an Equinox. If your health is low, you switch to night form. Put somebody to sleep, destroy a few people, heal yourself, and switch back to day form. Cast in midair. I like midair casting because it seems to save me, so this is just like my playstyle with Equinox. This is why I have this set up for me, and then I do a final hit. Boom, boom, boom. And this is again why you would use the second skill on them. You have so much efficiency. Just use the second skill. Because look, they will live through it. Now granted, it did a lot of damage, but it would have done more damage if I had used the second skill. So now I'll activate it, and I'll just shred through them because they're stunned. Now if I had the super out, I could just shoot them, but I just find this way more entertaining. By the way, if you are knocked off, your third power will deactivate. So you have to recast it. And see with Berserker, and use that right trigger combo, it does a lot of damage. Again, your health is hurt. Switch to Night Form. Give yourself HP. Buff up the damage. Oh no, I've been hurt like a poor little Equinox. Now, if an enemy was shooting at me, would I be going point blank? No. I'd be hiding behind a wall like an intelligent person and shooting with the supra. Right? And again, I'd put them to sleep, beat them to death with my sword, and get HP. So, this is just basic combat with Equinox for me. So, thank you for your time, and I hope this helps, guys.